Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it is your favorite warlock, practicing necromancer. And today, I want to kind of talk to you about some things that's been happening in the community, or I should say, communities. Okay. And I think it's important to speak this because not many people will. A lot of the big time practitioners, the ones that claim to be masters and being the best or most popular or whatever, will sit there and remain silent outside of their videos. But here it is. This may be a raw truth that will probably sting, but it needs to be said. There is a lot of drama within the communities. Things that should not fucking matter. Who gives a shit if you are a lesbian? Who gives a shit if you are gay? Who cares if you're asexual or pan, trans, bi, or whatever the fuck you want to call yourself? It has nothing to do with spirituality. It has nothing to do with the religious perspectives of the paths that we follow. Trying to incorporate this shit into a religious path working is not just naive and stupid, because those who try this literally end up bitching. Why doesn't my magic work? Why aren't the demons helping me? Why isn't the angels helping me? Why isn't the jinn helping me? Why isn't the Loa helping me? Why isn't the Orisha not helping me? The reason is because you got too much goddamn drama. I believe the term most used today between the today's youth is junk in the trunk, is what believe it's called. And it really is, if you think about it. The junk in the trunk is all that shit that you carry around that does not fucking matter. Okay? You got people still trying to create segregation. This shit should have ended back in the 50s. It should have ended back in the 1800s, the 1860s to be precise. This shit is still going on because people are dragging it into their lives, passing it on from one generation to the next. It does not matter the color of your skin. It does not matter the nationality. It does not matter what you inspire towards. It really does not. Who gives a shit who's running for office? Who gives a shit if so and so is talking smack about you? No one gives a shit. Well, I should say the whores to society do, because they're more into fitting in and being liked, being a part of something. But if you're on the left hand path and you're truly on that path, then this worldly dogma, this worldly chaotic bullshit, shouldn't even be on your radar. In fact, you should have your face planted in books, in studies, in practices. You want to make the world a better place for you and your family? Get the fuck away from social media. Just get away from social media. And you'll realize just how much of that dogma you were a part of. 5 years ago, I woke up when I became a necromancer. I used to be just like you until I stepped back and started pulling away. started deleting certain individuals from my life, started paying more attention to what was working in my life, my practices, than what was going on in the world on media, on online. If you haven't realized that the news and the governments are nothing more than the whores to the sentinels to those of the church and the Christians to get rid of those who they don't like, those who become a threat, then that's on you. That's on you because you want to be a part of that. But don't spread your shit to those who are trying to stay out of things. Those who come on sites like this are here for the educational purposes. They want to learn how to become a warlock or a witch. They want to get into demonology and spirituality. They want to learn history and, archaeology and folklore. They want to know what works and what doesn't. This is why those who truly are masters of their domain succeed, because it's not about the world. It's about your personal practice. It is about your personal studies. You are what matters, not the world. The world has its own creeds and laws. If you associate with the universal aspects or that of demonolatry, like I said, guess what? You're going to be tapping into their current. You're going to be applying their creeds to your life. You're going to be too busy aligning yourself to what they're doing so that you can learn from them. If you're a part of a coven, if you're a part of an organization, let's say for an example, let's go with the TST, the Satanic Temple, or the Temple of Set, or let's say for an example, the Joy of Satan, or the Church of Satan, the First Church of Satan. Hell, you could be a part of the Church of Leviathan. Okay, it doesn't matter which denomination of Satanism you're in. It really doesn't. Because if you were a true Satanist, then you would realize it's about self preservation and self gratification. You are the ambassador and the spokesperson for those demons. You represent, you are responsible for your own world, your own evolution, your own education. More so, more so. These little witch wars that are going on, it's nothing more than attention seeking. If you've had enemies, which we all have enemies. Doesn't matter what they say or do. Just do you. That's all that matters. I've spent the better part of 12 years working my way through the ministry of Satanism, of the left hand path. And before I knew it, I became an elder. People started seeing me as an elder. I hadn't even acknowledged that for years. And like I said, about 5 years ago, I got associated with an organization that was about personal growth. They don't do the work for you. I won't do the work for you. I will guide you and I will not hold anything back that you need to learn for your practice. But here it is. If you want to evolve, you want to you want to get a higher state of education and understanding, you want to know the path workings that you are upon, then you gotta leave the shit behind. Put that shit in the fucking trunk and dump that load. That's all I gotta say. Dump that fucking load and walk the hell away. Okay? Best thing I ever did was step back from social media. The best thing I did was start focusing more on my own studies, my own life, and applying the principles that I had been preaching for years. The best thing I've ever done is start applying the magics that have been taught to me to my own life. Anything outside of that does not matter. Yes, I take on private, personal apprentices. Not so much anymore since I've stepped back because it's been more about my spirituality than anything else. It's about my studies. I am still there for those that I have taught in the past, but that is it. You want you want to learn from me? Well, guess what? I have set prices. They don't change. You want my help? You're going to pay me for my services. It's called consumerism. It's been done for hundreds of thousands of years from the shaman to the Shem priesthood, right down to the witch and warlock, the Hexa, the Strega, the Eshi, the Aji, the Bokor, the Merimberos, the Capilata, the Bruo, Brua. They've all offered their services for a price. You know, one of my apprentices recently told me that in the DM, the Dominican Republic, it is said that every political leader has a Brua or Brua on the payroll. There you have it, folks. Get away from the dogma and apply shit to your life, and you'll be surprised where you go and what you can achieve. You see, I'm not, I win by actions, not by arguments, because it's about my education. It's about doing what I love doing, which is teaching the occult, the sciences behind it. This morning, I got up, downloaded 3 different PDFs based off certain things that my elders sent me or asked me to look into, organized 2 bookshelves, cleaned the books in the shelves, took out the trash, got a whole bunch of fucking laundry done, and cleaned the kitchen, all within 4 hours. Wow, that's a lot of shit done. And on top of that, I even updated my journal, which I hadn't done in a month and a half due to certain events that has taken place in my family. And the ironic part is, actions speak louder than words. You want to succeed? Get rid of that junk in the trunk. Mellow Sloth 29. Welcome. Yeah, going back to the basics is always a good thing. Hell, I've been doing this for almost 35 years. I know, I started when I was 11. I'm now 42. No, 43. Wow, it's been a long time. My point is this: if I'm still learning, and every so often, even I go back to the basics, it's like a refresher course. It would be like recertification of CPR training, for an example, or first aid training. Every so often, it's good to brush up on your skills, brush up on your practices. Darren Neville, brother, welcome. So, yes, it's always good to go back and reevaluate every so often. One of the things that I've been doing lately is I have been looking at the 48 laws of power, comparing them to the 50 laws of power and the 33 strategies of warfare. And it's amazing to see how these things relate to Sun Tzu's The Art of War, to see how it associates within War and Peace, the Russian classic by Travoy. And then you get into, say, for an example, the practices of the cognitive warfare by Alistair Knott. And you see where this applies. But if you're getting into, say, martial arts or let's say black magic, baneful or wrathful sorcery, getting into certain types of meditation and say getting into, let's go with Buddhism for an example. This requires discipline. This requires focus. It requires commitment and dedication. Do you not think that your practices in black magic or any form of path working does not require the same level of attention? So let me ask you this. If you're so focused on who's attacking whom in the communities, creating drama and chaos, how the fuck are you going to sit there and go, well, I'm a witch or I'm a warlock? I'm powerful. Really? Is that not ego or pride speaking? Because it is. It's about popularity. Because that's all it's good for. It's attention seeking. So if you're focused on all that bullshit, all that drama, you're not practicing. You're wasting so much valuable time. Because as an elder once said, do you not think that your time is valuable? Are your time, not valuable? Think about it like that. You're focused on so and so talking shit about you. Who gives a shit? It's called hearsay. It's an opinion. It's said to infest an emotional reply from you. But what happens when they don't get that reply? Eventually, they move on, and you're better off without them. The best thing you can do is hit that oops block button or unfriend button and keep on going because your path is your path. Your studies and where you take them is where you will end up. But it has nothing to do with who's gay, who's bi, who's trans, who's whatever, and whoever's starting fucking shit with you. It means nothing. It is nothing more than dogma, sentinels, white light practitioners whose only objective is to deter you from your goal, to deter you from evolving. That's it. The thing about writing, mellow sloth is that it takes time to develop. It's like doing live videos. You see, you can't just wake up in the morning and go, "Oh, I'm a professional speaker." No. You want to know why I'm this confident when I'm on camera? I started doing this stuff on my cell phone about 14, maybe 15 years ago. On a cell phone, doing this stuff, say 7 to 12 minutes, videos long. As my phones developed, became more advanced, new technology came out. I was able to take that up to 16 to 20 minutes videos. It's called trial and error. Trial and error. That is all it is. Experimentation. It takes time. To kick over somebody's head, you have to learn to work certain muscles in unison. You have to stretch repeatedly before you're able to do something that extravagant. So, writing is basically the same way. It takes time. I've been working with my son on his alphabet. He's very proud that he can do the first letter of his name. I've been working with him with the rest of it. He's only 5 years old. But guess what? He will evolve and he will learn. It takes time, just like writing, just like practicing ceremonial or personalized rituals. It takes time. Learning evocations and invocations takes time. It's a little thing called alchemy. There's different types of alchemy: spiritual, physical, verbal. You have to learn, you have to grow, you have to adapt, and sometimes it is a matter of experimentation. One of the greatest books that came out recently within, I want to say, the last 5 to 7 years was the Satanic Warlock by Magistrate Robert Johnson, Church of Satan. He's an atheist, calls himself a Satanic Warlock. I don't view atheistic Satanism as being part of Satanism. If you're going to take on the devil's name and you're going to take on the devil's objectives, then guess what? You're not the devil. There's only one devil. Therefore, you cannot have 7 billion Satans in the world. It's only one. So, therefore, if you look at this in this perspective, he created this book for men and strictly for men from a psychological perspective. And it does come in handy. It is the counterpart to Anton Szandor LaVey's Satanic Witch. Of course, they updated that one to the one that was forwarded by Blanche Barton, the one that took over for a short time before Peter H. Gilmore took over. So here it is. My advice, if you want to learn personas, you want to learn about psychology, I'd recommend those two books to you because they speak truth when it comes to understanding people. Then apply it to your life. But like I said, get off social media. Stay as far away from it as possible. If you want to do live videos, get on here and do live videos, but two things need to happen. Two things. Whatever you preach, back it up with multiple facts. And two, always make yourself available to the public, but win through nutrition. Be wise, be knowledgeable, evolve. Actions speak louder than words. Therefore, win through action, not, not through argument. Yeah, his Robert Johnson's book is called The Satanic Warlock. The female version of that book is called The Satanic Witch, and that was originally put out by Anton Zandler, but the more updated version is a pink book that was called the same thing, and it was forwarded by Blanche Barton. So I do, like I said, I do recommend those two books. I would also recommend the 48 Laws of Power, the 50 Laws of Power, and the 33 Strategies of Warfare to you. I've been really delving into these a lot, not just my own personal studies put forth by my elders. And trust me, it's a lot better for you. So have a good day, and until next time, get rid of the junk in the trunk.